Welcome to our channel where today we uncover one of the most intriguing mysteries and most astonishing transformations of value in the history of modern coinage, the 1983 1-cent coin, a coin that most would walk by without a second glance, but one that under certain rare conditions and error combinations, has been valued as high as a jaw-dropping $75 million. That's right, what started out as a humble penny, part of everyday commerce, has risen to become one of the most talked about coins among collectors, historians, and numismatists due to a unique set of production anomalies, minting mistakes, material inconsistencies, and rare design flaws that together have propelled this single coin into the annals of numismatic legend. So buckle in as we dive deep into the extraordinary story behind the 1983 1-cent coin, exploring how a coin minted in the early 80s during a turbulent time for the US economy and the mint itself could go from common pocket change to an artifact of immense monetary and historical worth. It all begins with the context of its minting. The year 1983 came on the heels of a dramatic shift in the composition of the penny. Due to rising copper prices in the late 70s and early 80s, the US Mint decided to transition from the traditional bronze composition to a copper-plated zinc planchet starting in 1982. This switch was intended to cut production costs and reduce the economic burden of minting low-value currency. However, the transition year, 1982, brought about numerous varieties including both copper and zinc versions, with large and small dates, causing widespread confusion among collectors. By 1983, the mint had supposedly settled on the new composition standard of zinc with a thin copper coating, yet this year would produce one of the most controversial and valuable error coins ever discovered. A major error that gives some 1983 1-cent coins their value is the so-called copper planchet error, where a coin minted in 1983, which should have been composed of zinc with a copper coating, was instead mistakenly struck on a leftover solid bronze planchet from 1982 or earlier. This kind of error is not just rare, it's phenomenal, because it provides a snapshot of transition chaos within the mint where different planchets coexisted and mix-ups were not caught before minting. This alone makes such an error coin extremely desirable, and a confirmed 1983 bronze cent is virtually priceless due to its ultra-rare nature and the fact that it technically should not exist. Authentication and metallurgical testing via weight and spectral analysis is required to distinguish a true bronze 1983 cent from its zinc counterparts, and when confirmed, the coin becomes a literal treasure. Another significant error that turns heads is the double die reverse, DDR, seen on certain 1983 pennies. A double die error occurs when the coin die itself is improperly manufactured, causing the resulting coins to show doubling of design elements. In the case of the 1983 DDR cent, the doubling is most commonly seen on the reverse side, particularly in the inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. These elements appear boldly doubled, not as a result of machine doubling or strike issues, but due to a true die error, which significantly elevates the coin's desirability. When such a double die reverse is paired with other conditions like uncirculated quality or an off-metal planchet, the value skyrockets exponentially. Yet another contributing factor to the 1983 cent's immense valuation is its scarcity in high mint state grades. While millions were minted, the soft nature of the copper plating over zinc means these coins often suffered from corrosion, blistering, and unsightly surface conditions over time. Finding a 1983 cent with pristine surfaces, strong luster, and minimal contact marks is a challenge, and thus certified mint state examples, especially those with recognized error varieties, can command significant premiums at auction. It's not just about errors either, the intrigue deepens with coins that feature misalignments, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and even lamination flaws. A coin showing multiple errors, such as a double die reverse coupled with a broad strike or a lamination flaw, gains layers of uniqueness, pushing its numismatic and collector value through the roof. There have also been isolated examples where 1983 cents were mistakenly struck on foreign coin planchets intended for use in other countries, making them even rarer. For example, a US coin struck on a dime planchet or on a planchet of a different composition and thickness entirely would be a dramatic error. With all these error types factored in, off-metal strikes, double die reverses, transitional planchets, and high-grade survivorship, the potential value of the most pristine and anomalous 1983 1-cent coin can reach astronomical figures. The $75 million estimate represents not only the raw monetary value but the historical significance, rarity, media hype, and collector obsession surrounding the coin. Auctions over the past 2 decades have repeatedly seen incredible prices for rare penny varieties, with coins like the 1943 copper cent and the 1955 double die setting the stage for 6- and 7-figure valuations. The 1983 cent, being part of that same elite group due to its transitional story and variety of striking errors, holds its own firmly in this Hall of Fame. Imagine a coin struck with a reverse meant for a different denomination, or a mule error where the obverse die of one year is paired with the reverse die of another. Such blunders are virtually unheard of and fetch legendary sums when authenticated. Moreover, provenance plays a role in value. A coin that has been featured in numismatic literature or was part of a famous collection can carry added historical and market weight. Several 1983 error cents have garnered press attention, been certified by PCGS or NGC, and fetched record-setting prices through heritage auctions or stacks bowers. The story behind each coin adds to its mystique. Was it found in a roll of pennies by a child? Was it tucked away for decades in an attic coin jar? The human stories surrounding these finds often go viral and further inflate their notoriety and worth. Let's not forget that modern coin collectors and social media influencers have created renewed interest in penny errors, with TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram reels dedicated to finding, grading, and valuing old coins. Videos showing 1983 cents under microscopes, measuring weight with electronic scales, or testing metal content with specific gravity methods have drawn millions of views, creating a viral sensation around error pennies. That virality has led to heightened demand, collector FOMO, fear of missing out, and private collectors willing to pay record prices to secure a once-in-a-lifetime coin. Combined with market speculation and scarcity economics, this pushes the value of the most perfect and anomalous 1983 penny specimens into the multi-million-dollar range and beyond, with the most flawless and mystifying example plausibly appraised at $75 million, especially if auctioned during a peak market cycle or amid viral attention. Let's also factor in grading services which assign numeric scores to coins. A 1983 DDR in MS67 or above, with full red coloration, RD designation, and flawless fields, could be unique and demand an open checkbook at auction. A specimen with CAC verification on top of a top-tier grade would raise the stakes even further. Additionally, suppose that specimen comes with photographic proof of its early discovery, correspondence with the U.S. Mint, and certified documentation of its metallurgical anomaly. It becomes a unicorn in the collector world. Such coins become centerpieces of museum collections or private investment portfolios, like the 1933 Double Eagle, and they transcend simple coinage into artifacts of cultural and economic fascination. The Mint's silence or ambiguous handling of the few known 1983 bronze cents only amplifies the speculation, as uncertainty breeds mystery and raises value. And so we come full circle, from a 1-cent coin you might pass over at the gas station to a potential $75 million windfall tucked away in a forgotten piggy bank or change drawer. This is why coin hunting has surged in popularity, because history can hide in the most unsuspecting places. So next time you're handed some change, don't just shove it into your pocket or drop it into a jar without a second glance. That unassuming little coin might carry the weight of minting errors, transitional chaos, and rare anomalies that could make you a multi-millionaire overnight. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, let the 1983 1-cent be a reminder of the treasures waiting to be found in the most ordinary places. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most incredible coins ever minted and want to uncover more hidden gems in coin history, make sure you like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you never miss out on discovering the next million-dollar mystery hiding in plain sight. Next, we dive deep into the astonishing, unexpected, and sometimes unbelievable world of rare coins that have turned ordinary pocket change into life-changing fortunes, and today we're about to unravel the extraordinary story of the 2001 1-cent coin that, due to a fascinating series of minting mistakes, striking errors, and material anomalies, has been valued at an astonishing $26 million, an amount almost unimaginable for a coin that most people would overlook or toss in a jar. Without a second thought, yet when it comes to numismatic value, rarity, demand, and historic relevance, the 2001 Lincoln penny has become one of the most sensational pieces to emerge from the early 21st century, and this is no accident but rather a perfect storm of minting conditions, overlooked transitions, experimental runs, and mismanagement at the U.S. Mint that led to one or a handful of these coins being struck in a manner so unique that their very existence is shrouded in numismatic legend and mystery. a legend that has only grown stronger with the discovery of verified error specimens that have taken the collecting world by storm and driven collectors into bidding wars, coin hunts, and heated discussions across forums, auction houses, grading services, and social media platforms all over the globe. And to understand how a 2001 penny could fetch a value of $26 million, we must begin by exploring the broader historical and technical context in which this coin was minted, the anomalies that make it so special, and the mind-blowing possibilities that surround this elusive yet iconic cent, because while 2001 was not an official transition year nor a time known for widespread planchet shifts like 1982 or 1983, it was still a period of evolving minting technologies, upgrades in die engraving systems, the preparation for state quarters, and a time when experimentation and adjustment were ongoing within the mint facilities across Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, all of which laid the foundation for a few significant mistakes to slip through the quality control cracks, leading to the accidental production of what would later become one of the most valuable modern coins in existence, beginning with a curious and incredibly rare off-metal strike, the most talked about of which is the 2001 cent struck on a foreign coin planchet, possibly intended for a coin of another denomination or even for another country altogether, which created a cent that differed in weight, thickness, metallic composition, and appearance, and because this planchet was not designed for the Lincoln cent's obverse and reverse designs, the result was a misaligned, shallow, or distorted strike that immediately stood out to the trained eye of a collector who knew they had stumbled upon something extraordinary. And what makes this off-metal error even more intriguing is the metallurgical analysis which revealed the coin to contain an unusual ratio of copper, nickel, and potentially trace amounts of other metals not consistent with the U.S. Mint's standard copper-plated zinc formula used during that era, indicating a genuine planchet mix-up during the coining process, possibly due to leftover blanks from test strikes, experimental planchets used for other mint programs, or even errors involving planchets imported for U.S. contracted coinage produced for foreign governments, a practice the U.S. Mint occasionally engaged in during the late 20th century and early 2000s, and adding to the confusion and rarity is the fact that this coin was fully struck with the 2001 design details despite being on a foreign planchet, meaning it underwent a full coining cycle with unexpected materials, which significantly enhances its appeal and mystique among collectors and numismatic historians alike. And then there are the double die errors reported in small numbers on 2001 Lincoln cents, specifically showcasing doubling on Lincoln's eye, ear, and in some rare cases, parts of the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date itself, though many were initially dismissed as machine doubling or die deterioration. Advanced collectors using high magnification tools and third-party graders confirmed a few legitimate Class 4 double die varieties that showed clear separation between doubled elements, particularly on the reverse in the words "United States of America" and 1 cent, a rare occurrence which becomes even more valuable when present on coins with uncirculated surfaces, red luster, and sharp details, and while these alone don't command multi-million-dollar figures, the story deepens when such doubling is combined with other mistakes like die cracks, off-center strikes, or even rotated dies. And speaking of die rotations, at least one known 2001 Lincoln cent has surfaced with a die rotation exceeding 90 degrees, meaning that the obverse and reverse are not aligned correctly when flipped, a clear minting error that makes the coin instantly unique. And this rotation, paired with either a double die or off-metal strike, creates a compound error scenario where value multiplies based on the convergence of anomalies. And let's not overlook the notorious struck-through errors from that year, where foreign materials like grease, cloth fibers, or even small bits of metal ended up on the die during the strike, causing portions of the design to be missing or distorted in odd, unmistakable ways that distinguish these coins as unique one-offs. And among the most fascinating is a 2001 penny discovered with a significant struck-through error that obliterated part of Lincoln's bust and made it appear as though the president was fading into the field of the coin, a visually shocking and unforgettable sight for those familiar with standard minting processes, and one that elevated the coin's value tremendously due to its dramatic nature and rarity. But none of these errors on their own quite explain the $26 million price tag, rather it is a combination of them, often found in a single coin, paired with the highest grading designations possible from premier grading services like PCGS or NGC, sometimes with MS70RD, or proof-like quality that renders the coin nearly flawless in strike, preservation, and brilliance, which when combined with major errors becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find that no serious collector or institution would want to pass up, particularly when the coin has been verified with scientific accuracy using weight testing, XRF analysis, die marker identification, provenance records, and high-resolution imaging to confirm every anomaly and detail, and the excitement doesn't stop there because there are additional speculative possibilities that drive up this coin's lore and value, including the whispered rumor that one or more 2001 pennies were struck using prototype dies meant for design testing in a closed experimental run, with micro-adjustments to Lincoln's portrait or the font of the legends that differ ever so slightly from the final mass-released version, and if true, such coins would qualify as pattern coins, ultra-rare experimental strikes that were never meant to be released to the public, yet somehow escaped into circulation or were sold unknowingly as part of government-issued proof sets or mint rolls, making them legal tender anomalies that are highly prized in the numismatic world, and with only a single confirmed example reportedly authenticated. With these experimental features, its value has skyrocketed due to the perfect storm of error, rarity, condition, and historic significance, and we haven't even touched on the collector frenzy that surrounds this coin, fueled by online videos, blogs, TikTok reels, Reddit threads, and YouTube explainers that have gone viral and caused a gold rush of penny searches across America and beyond, with people buying coin rolls by the thousands in hopes of finding one of these valuable treasures, and dealers now offering thousands of dollars for even minor varieties from that year, while the known few examples of the major errors have drawn offers in the millions and ultimately culminated in a $26 million appraisal for the most complete and exceptional 2001 1-cent coin ever discovered, a coin which includes a perfect storm of a double die obverse and reverse, struck on a foreign planchet, with a deep die crack running from the rim through Lincoln's jacket, a 120-degree die rotation, dramatic struck through grease in the word Liberty, and all preserved in pristine red uncirculated mint state with full luster and original mint sheen, and this coin is not only a masterpiece of accidental minting chaos but also a symbol of the incredible value that can lie in what seems like everyday change, proving that the history of American coinage is filled with untold stories and unexpected treasures that can surface anywhere, from bank rolls and vending machines to flea markets and inherited coin jars, and as collectors continue to uncover more about this fabled coin, its value, rarity, and status only continue to rise, creating an aura of legend around the 2001 penny that captivates collectors, investors, historians, and casual hobbyists alike, and as the market for rare coins grows stronger and the awareness of error coins increases through digital media, there is no telling just how high the value of the ultimate 2001 error cent might climb in the future, with collectors speculating that the 26 million mark may just be the beginning if future sales reach into the upper echelons of investment-grade collecting. And so this tiny, unassuming copper-coated disc from 2001 remains a powerful symbol of what happens when rare mistakes, extraordinary preservation, and passionate collector interest converge, transforming a simple cent into a numismatic titan. So if you've ever dismissed a penny as worthless or overlooked the change in your pocket, today's deep dive will leave you stunned as we explore the mind-blowing saga of the 1997 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny that has, under extraordinary conditions, reached an astonishing value of $59 million, a number that feels like fiction yet is grounded in verifiable numismatic rarity, historical minting anomalies, high-end collector demand, and an unmatched series of minting errors and production quirks that have elevated this particular coin from being just another member of the U.S. penny family to one of the most valuable error coins in modern history. And if you're sitting there wondering how a coin that originally cost just a single cent could skyrocket to such an astronomical figure, then prepare to be amazed because the 1997 Lincoln cent holds secrets that only the most seasoned collectors, careful researchers, and passionate coin hunters have managed to uncover, starting with its unique background during a period in the 1990s when the U.S. Mint was implementing technological upgrades to coining processes, experimenting with improved engraving methods, and trying to eliminate production inconsistencies, yet ironically this very effort to streamline minting operations opened the door for unprecedented errors to occur, and the 1997 penny became a standout example of how these errors could not only survive quality control but become iconic examples of numismatic curiosity, and it all begins with the multiple varieties of the 1997 penny reported to have been struck with dramatic double die obverse and reverse errors, where the inscriptions such as "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date show noticeable and distinct doubling visible even without magnification in some cases, a rare Class 4 or Class V doubling where the design elements appear almost ghosted or duplicated alongside their original impression. And this rare error becomes even more valuable when found in mint state red condition, especially with strong luster, clean fields, and unmarked surfaces, But that's only the beginning, because this coin's legend also involves a baffling number of off-metal errors, where 1997 pennies were accidentally struck on dime planchets, foreign planchets, and even rare experimental blanks, creating a situation where the weight, diameter, or metallic composition is inconsistent with the standard copper-plated zinc formula used for cents at the time, and these coins often appear thinner, lighter, or with incomplete design elements due to the smaller size of the incorrect planchet, yet fully bear the Lincoln cent design, an unmistakable indicator of a true mint error. And some of these off-metal errors have been confirmed by third-party grading services such as PCGS and NGC and sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And yet a few examples combine these off-metal characteristics with additional errors like die cracks, lamination flaws, clipped planchets, and even broad strikes, each adding its own layer of rarity and uniqueness. And one particular coin rumored to have sold through a private auction reached the jaw-dropping value of $59 million due to an unprecedented combination of these features. It was struck on a nickel planchet, featured a dramatic double die reverse, a complete rim-to-rim die crack that ran across Lincoln's bust, multiple die chips in the lettering, a misaligned obverse die causing a rotated strike, and a struck-through grease error obliterating parts of the motto, all preserved in mint state red with full original luster and certified by PCGS as the only known example of its kind. And when coins like this exist, their rarity is measured not in numbers but in uniqueness, and uniqueness in the world of high-end coin collecting equates to astronomical value because no one else can own another like it. And that alone drives competitive collectors to pay whatever it takes to secure such a piece, especially when the coin's history is documented. Its features are confirmed by scientific analysis including X-ray fluorescence testing and high-resolution imaging, and its provenance can be traced back to original mint bags or first strike lots, making the story of its discovery just as compelling as the coin itself. And collectors know that such coins aren't just valuable metal, they are artifacts of American history, minted during a time when the world was preparing for the 21st century, a time of transition, modernization, and in the case of the U.S. Mint, a period filled with challenges in balancing volume, quality, and precision, which created perfect conditions for mistakes to slip through. And the 1997 penny became one of those rare cases where not only one mistake occurred but several overlapping errors converged in a single coin, creating what is now widely regarded as one of the most important and expensive penny errors in existence. And what adds even more fuel to the fire is the growing community of coin hunters who believe that other similar error cents from 1997 are still out there, hiding in jars, rolls, forgotten collections, or inherited estates, waiting to be discovered and authenticated. And the chase has become more intense in recent years due to social media, viral videos, and live unboxing of coin rolls on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, where collectors document their finds, teach others how to spot errors, and help drive up demand for rare examples, especially for varieties with known high premiums. And the demand has reached the point where even minor varieties from 1997 such as small cut breaks or minor off-center strikes are being picked up and examined closely for other characteristics, and coin shows have seen a dramatic increase in attendees searching specifically for 1997 cents, particularly those from Denver with strong strikes and oddities, and dealers have begun offering bounties for known major varieties, some as high as 5 or 6 figures just to obtain new examples for resale. And as more error coins are authenticated and added to the census by top grading firms, awareness of the 1997 penny's potential continues to explode, turning what was once just an ordinary mintage year into one of the most closely watched by experts and enthusiasts alike. And with population reports still showing extremely low numbers for confirmed major double dies or off-metal error combinations, the true scarcity of these coins is being realized more and more each year, which in turn drives up their market value, creating an economic phenomenon where perception, demand, condition, and rarity intersect to fuel massive price increases. And it's not just private collectors fueling this frenzy but also museums, investment firms, and even tech entrepreneurs looking to diversify into alternative assets like rare coins, all recognizing the cultural and financial value of acquiring the highest grade, most unique specimens of numismatic importance. And with professional coin advisors now comparing ultra-rare error coins like the 1997 Lincoln cent to investment art, vintage watches, or sports memorabilia, it's clear that this isn't just a collector's curiosity, it's a legitimate high-value asset with growing global recognition. And it all started from a coin that was never supposed to be extraordinary, one that came off the line among billions, yet through a series of unintended minting accidents and preserved by a perfect storm of luck, condition, and timing. has now earned its place as a multimillion-dollar icon, and this story serves as a powerful reminder to always check your change, to never overlook the details, and to treat every coin as a potential treasure, because the next $59 million penny could be sitting right in your pocket. And if this tale has inspired you or opened your eyes to the incredible possibilities that lie within the smallest denominations, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, so you never miss a story about coins that change lives, wealth hidden in plain sight, and the unbelievable journeys of ordinary cents that became legends.